Guten Nachmittag, Rowan-Klasse. Hello, welcome to today's German lesson. It's really great to be doing another German lesson with you. And first of all, I just wanted to start by saying a thank you for those members of the class who've been sending things in. Last week, I was able to see some of the videos that you sent in of some of you talking about how old you were and how old your family members were, which was lovely. And some of you even managed to write down and use those frames that I gave you last week and were able to write down how old you were and how old your family members were. I was really impressed with your pronunciation, for those of you who sent in videos, and how well you pronounced each of the sounds, each of the words, and also the way that you wrote down the words as well for the numbers and the sentences. I want to say really well done. You sounded great, and today we're going to build on that a little bit more, thinking about German numbers and birthdays as well. So I'm just going to start by showing you our PowerPoint, so just bear with me for a minute. Gesundheit. Bless me, just sneezed. So here's our PowerPoint. Okay, so heute ist Mittwoch, den 27. Januar 2021. So today is Wednesday, it's the 27th of January 2021. Just think about that number there, 27, 27, 27th of January, Januar 2021. 2001 and 20, that's the way we say it in German. So today we're still thinking about recognizing our numbers, and we're still going to be thinking about how you express how old you are. I want everyone to be really confident in how you can say, this is how old I am, and so that you can ask someone else how old they are as well. So just a phrase for this week. You should have heard me say this before in class, but I'm just going to bring up this first of all as a bit of a phrase. If I say to you, wie geht's? Okay, that means, how are you? And it's often a phrase that people will use in Germany. If you see someone in the street, you say, hello, or guten Tag, or guten Nachmittag, wie geht's? How are you? It's like, are you okay? And you can reply with good, danke, good, thank you. Some people might say nicht schlecht, not bad. You could say prima, meaning excellent. I know some of us have used that before. Or fantastisch, fantastic, danke, fantastic, thank you. So, wie geht's? How are you? See if you can answer that one at home, and we might use that a little bit more. So, just a bit of a recap. We should know this really well by now. Our song in German for singing the happy birthday song. So, you can join in with me, or you can mute me and sing it on your own, but here goes. Zum Geburtstag viel Glück, zum Geburtstag viel Glück, zum Geburtstag lieber, zum Geburtstag viel Glück. Yeah, das war good. So you can use that next time that you have got a birthday. Okay. So, next thing we're going to do. Now we're going to do some practicing of some German numbers, seeing them on the screen as well as reading them out as well. But before we do that, I'm just going to stop sharing that screen, and I am going to go back to share with you something else, just as a recap before we have a go at doing that little game. So on my screen, I'm about to bring up for you our knowledge organizer for our languages, for our words. If I can just find it here. Bear with me. Okay, so on the screen, you should be able to see our knowledge organizer for Geburtstage and Zahlen, our birthdays and numbers. And just over here, you might want to pause on the screen if you want to have a practice of these, but our numbers for 1 to 12 that we've been learning. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just remember the O with the umlauts, making it not zwölf, but zwölf. Okay, it shortens the vowel sound there, and also fünf as well, with the U with the umlauts. It becomes a very short sound, fünf. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint, and now let's see if we can have a little practice with our numbers. So let me see if I can start sharing the new screen. Okay, that should be back in front of you, I think. I'm not sure that it is, so I'm just going to come back out of it. I'm not sure it showed up on my screen, so just hang on. I'm going to go back to that one. I'm pretty sure that should make sure that it's there. I think that should be there. So we're going to say the number out loud, first in German, and then we're going to do it in English. So you'll see what I mean when we go. So what did that word say? Can you read it at home for me? We sounded out fünf. What number is fünf? Fünf is the number 5. Always helps because it begins with the F as well. That's like a bit like English there, so that's a bit of a clue. Fünf, 5. Next one. Read that word for me. Eins. Okay, and in German, our phonics, the E and the I make that I sound, so it's eins, eins. And what number is eins? Correct, that is number 1. I always think eins is a really good one because it's like going 1, 2, 3, eins, zwei, drei, eins, zwei, drei. Okay, the next number. How do you say that word? Acht. Okay, and it's really important that when we see this in German, the A and the C and the H often give an ach sound, not ak, but ach. And you've got to really use your throat to do that, as if you were trying to cough like ach, and then put a t on the end, so acht, acht. Sounds quite harsh to say. What number is acht? It is 8, correct. Okay, here's our next one. Read that word. Okay, German phonics should be a V makes a F sound. So fear, it's not via, it's fear. And when we've got the I in the E in German, it makes the E sound, which is the second vowel that we've got there. We don't do the I one. So ear, fear. Okay, what number is fear? Fear is number 4. Good. Okay, then we have this word. Can you try and say that word for me? Sieben. Sieben. Okay, first of all, S in German is pronounced like a Z. Z, Z, Z. Sieben. Okay, and the I and the E, like we had with fear up here, it's the E sound it gives us with the I and the E, so it's Z, eben, sieben, 7. Good. Next one. What word is that? Zwei. Okay, Z, V. Remember the W in German is a V sound. Z, V, I. And remember, because it's an E and an I this way around, we say the I sound, not the E. So it's Z, V, I. Zwei. What number is zwei? Ja, das ist 2. That is 2. Good. Und dann. Welche Nummer ist das? What number is that? 9. Oi, n. The E and the U make that oi sound. No, oin, n. 9. Welche Nummer ist das? Das ist Nummer 9. Gut. Okay. Welche Nummer ist das? 6. Okay, remember that S is a Z sound, so it's a Z, Z, E. And the CH in German becomes a K sound, like a kicking K. K, Z, E, K, S. 6. Okay, and welche Nummer ist das? Das ist Nummer 6. Good. Okay, next number. Welche Nummer ist das? 3. D, R, I. Remember, it's the E and the I. We always do the second vowel one, so it's the I sound. And welche Nummer ist das? Das ist Nummer 3. And the last one we have, welche Nummer ist das? Say it for me. Zen. Okay, Zen. Z, E, N. Zen. And das ist Nummer 10. Good. So, and just before we move on to doing something else, we've already got our numbers here, and I think we know our numbers 1 to 12 quite well. I'm just going to give you some helpful hints about building other numbers. And I say this to you because we may need to use some of these when we are going to say anyone's birthday or someone's age who is bigger or older than 12. And obviously members in your family probably are going to be older than 12. So just put up here, if you, and again you can go back to pause this on your screen, but we've got 13 and all the way to 20, and I've gone all the way to 30 first of all. I just want to talk to you about how those numbers are built, and I think we might have talked about it before, but you can see in 13 we've got dry, and dry means 3, so dry, and then we've got zen, which means 10. So the way the Germans build their numbers with their number system is you've got 3 and 10, which makes 13. They don't have und in the middle, it's just 3, 10, which makes 13. And once you understand that, you can then understand 14, 15, 16, 17. Now the only thing with 17 is that we don't say sieben, we just miss out the en off the end because it just makes it sound a bit more complex. So we just say 17, 18, 19, and we get to 20, and then it becomes 20, 20. Okay, no, we don't say the G on the end, it's 20, it's like a sh. G becomes the SH. And then when we build up the numbers, it becomes ein und 20, 1 and 20. Then we do zwei und 20, 3 und 20, 4 und 20, 5 und 20, 6 und 20, 7 und 20, 8 und 20, 9 und 20, 30 is 30. And you can see in there 3 and the sich is the way of saying it becomes like 30 rather than just 3. It's like 3 lots of 10, sich. And then we have 31, 32, and then we would carry on in exactly the same way with 33, 34, 35, 36, etc. And it just carries on and on and on. And you can therefore build any number once you know the multiples of 10. So 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and I'm giving you 100. So for example, if you were to make the number 72, it would be 2, meaning zwei, zwei und 70, 2 and 70, 72. And if I wanted to make the number 55, I would do 5 und 50, 5 and 50, 55. Okay, and if you were to do, if you've got anyone in your family who might be 100 or even more, you can use 100, and you can say 100 und, so 100 und 1, 100 und 2. So that's to give you a bit of help there. And I've just put a note here as well. If you're saying the date for ordinal numbers, when we're saying it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, for numbers 4 to 19, we add 10 at the end of them. So 14, 15, 16. But after that, then we add sten to the end to become the ordinal number. So for example, 21 Stunden, 22 Stunden. Okay, and we just that's just helpful when we're saying words. We don't need to worry too much about that now, but sometimes that understands when we said the date for today, and today's date being 27 Stunden Januar. Okay, that's why I'm putting the Stunden at the end, because I'm basically saying like we do in English. Okay, so having done that, let's go on to the next slide. Now, I'm going to go back to this in a second, so don't worry. But oh no, I'm going to go back. Or you're going to need to pause the screen in a minute. Basically, the next thing is you're going to get some sentences, and the sentences are going to appear on the screen for just 10 seconds. They don't last long. I think I'm going to do it twice. And there is a number contained in the sentence. Your job is to spot the number in the sentence. It's written as a word, but you're going to have to look closely because it looks like jumbled up letters, but it's not. They're actually sentences with no spaces or full stops or capital letters. So you could cheat if you need to and help yourself out and just pause it and see if you can find it, or you can challenge yourself and do it in the 10 seconds as well. Don't worry if not, we're going to go back over them and we'll talk about them because they're real sentences that have got real numbers in them. So here goes. So wo ist die Zahl versteckt? Could you see that number in there? Get ready, here goes the next one. Could you see a number in there? Next one, could you see a number in here? Could you see a number in there? Could you see a number in there? Right, I'm going to go back, give you another go. If you need one more go, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so here are the answers, and I'm going to go through them and talk about the sentences as well. So, okay, the first one had the number zwei in it. How many is zwei? Zwei is 2. And the sentence, if we break it down, ich habe, I have, Augen, Ohren, Nase, Mund, zwei Hände, Fuß und Beine. So if you remembered any of those words in there from our language before, so it's basically saying I have eyes, ears, nose and mouth, 2 hands, feet and legs. This is describing body parts. So 2 hands, feet and legs. Okay. Ich habe Augen, Ohren, Nase, Mund, zwei Hände, Fuß und Beine. So see if you spotted that one. Here's the next one. Okay, the number was 4. Did you spot that in there? Quite tricky. Mein Freund isst gern 4 Bananen. Isst nicht gern Apfel und Orangen. There's 2 sentences there. So, mein Freund isst gern. That says my friend likes to eat. Isst is the verb for eating, and gern means like. Mein Freund isst gern 4 Bananen. My friend likes to eat 4 bananas, and then isst nicht gern. Remember, nicht gern means you don't like, not like. Ich nicht gern Äpfel und Orangen. So he doesn't like to eat apples and oranges. Okay, the next sentence we've got. Okay, did you spot the number? This time it was at the very end, and the number was 10. Heute ist Sonntag. So today is Sunday. Am Mittwoch means on Wednesday. Habe ich, so I have Geburtstag, birthday. So on Wednesday it is my birthday. Und ich werde, and I will be is the verb. It's saying in the future, ich werde sein. So I will be 10. So heute ist Sonntag, am Mittwoch habe ich Geburtstag und ich werde sein. Next one. Okay, the number was almost at the end and the number was dry, so it's 3. Die Fahne von Deutschland, so the flag from Germany, die Fahne von Deutschland ist schwarz, black, rot, red, gold. And there's the first sentence. And second sentence is sie hat, so it has 3 Farben. And we know Farben is coloured, so it's got 3 colours, which is on the German flag. Okay, and I think there was one more. Okay, I think this one was quite complicated as well. So the word in there, the number was 7, both 7. So die Lieblingsfarbe meiner Mutter ist blau. That's the first sentence there. So the favourite colour, die Lieblingsfarbe, favourite colour, die Lieblingsfarbe meiner Mutter, of my mother, is blau. So my favourite colour of my mum's is blue. And then sie hat, so she has 7 blau pullover. She's got 7 blue jumpers. Okay, good. So, and there they all were all together. So, little task for you to do. Could you pretend it's someone in your household's birthday today? Could you ask them how old they are? Could you ask them to ask you the same question and use that little phrase box that you've got there? And if you're in school doing this as well, you can use this to help you ask other people within your bubble as well. So, wie alt bist du? How old are you? That phrase there, wie alt bist du? How, wie alt, old, bist, are you? Wie alt bist du? And then you can say Ich bin, I am, and then you can say the number in the middle. So you can go back to the other slides, use the knowledge organizer. Ich bin 8 Jahre alt. Ich bin 7 Jahre alt. Ich bin 9 Jahre alt. Okay, and then they can ask you. So once you've asked them, wie alt bist du? And they say ich bin, 8 Jahre alt, and they say back to you, und du, and you, and then you say ich bin, and you can say how old you are. So have a go at that now. Pause the screen if you need to. Okay, and my takeaway task from today for everyone. We talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago about one of the cultural things in Germany about the game that they play at people's birthdays, often at children's parties, called Topfklopfen, which is tap a pot. And just a reminder there that this game is where one of the children is blindfolded and the children sit in a circle on the floor like you're playing pass the parcel, but one child puts the pot upside down somewhere in the circle, they put some sweets under it, and then the blindfolded child holds a wooden spoon and they tap it gently around the space in the circle, trying to find the pot to get the sweets. And the other children help the child who's playing the game by saying heiß or kalt, hot or cold. So it's a way of you practicing heiß or kalt. And once the child taps on the pot and they find it, then they get the sweets and another child has a turn. So I wondered if you would have a go at playing that in your home, even if you've got just 2 brothers and sisters, or maybe mum and dad to play with. See if you can play it in a small game, see if you can get a wooden spoon, see if you can play Topfkopflen, and see if you can get whatever prize you choose to put under the pot. It could be vegetables, it could be some sweets you've got, it could be some chocolate, who knows, whatever it is that you want, you can pop it under there. I would love to see some pictures of people playing Topfkopflen, or even some videos as well. So that is my takeaway task for today that I would love to be able to see in. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So that is it for the end of our lesson today, year 4. It's been really great to talk to you. Please, please, please keep sending your things in. I'd love to see people playing Topfkopflen at home. Keep practicing the numbers, keep saying how old you are, and I shall see you all next week. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss.